Welcome, everybody, to the A Little Less Fear podcast. I'm your host for the show, Dr. Lino Martinez. Oh, yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to the A Little Less Fear podcast. I'm very happy to introduce Michaell Magrutsche. Michaell Magrutsche, thank you so much, and welcome to A Little Less Fear podcast. I love your energy already. We're here to talk about human potential versus knowledge and everything and anything else that you have to bring onto the table. So let's talk outside the box and let's get going here. What can you tell us about potential versus knowledge and everything else that you've learned?
So I see fear, right? And I see that, I see that on your screen.
Yes.
Less fear.
Mm-hmm.
And I think let's just talk out of the box. So what is not created by humans? Humans, nature, and everything else is the Earth. The Earth is our planet. Nature is our habitat. Yes. Because the Earth doesn't need to have green on it.
Right.
It just and so it has everything we created is a system. So race, diversity, color, agenda even is for systems because systems are limited. They're not limitless. Mm-hmm. Like humans. Humans is, if I freak out right now, you're not, your system isn't thinking, you know what to do when I freak out.
Right.
None of the system can do anything if they haven't before experienced it, AI or anything. Mm-hmm. That's why I say we are godly beings.
Yes.
We just know, when this happens. But you also know that you can react in an emergency that you have never done before.
Right.
And that's the opposite of fear.
Very
because
good.
when you start relying on the limitless humanness, our limitless, like our godliness, basically, because we haven't created ourselves. We've created a social system, a system of races, gender. All this is done that limited systems can navigate. Oh, I don't know if you're Hispanic or I don't know what you is. I'm white. You're Hispanic. I mean, I don't consider myself white. I consider myself a human.
Yes,
I consider you a human. I don't consider it's the greatest thing.
Right.
Blacks don't consider themselves black. Oh, obvious they're black. Asians are black. Asians are Asians, Mm-hmm. It's obvious. It is, and we are like feeling guilty because we recognize that. Mm-hmm. I almost feel guilty to say, "Oh, you're Latino." It's like, why do I feel that? I recognize you as Latino, but I'm not putting you in a box. The system puts you in a box.
Exactly.
And the system says then, oh, you shouldn't put them in a box. But really only the system puts us in the box.
Right.
Right? So we are humans. It's humans, not in gender. We are humans. If you're a black woman and a white man, you're two humans that love each other.
I mean, I totally understand that, and that's exactly how I live my life. I always just say that I'm human, free of judgment. But how do you get this across to people that are so adamant about speaking up, about Black Lives Matter, about all lives matter, about I'm this, I'm that? I mean, how do you get people to settle down and have them actually see that? It just seems like they are running just back to the whole word, back to their fear, and letting that conquer them. So, I mean, how do we even get these people to sit down and listen up and change the system?
That's the hardest thing.
It is.
That's the hardest thing to remind people. But yes. When I tell you a magic thing, when I say human, it's almost like a magic word. When I'm not coming, hey, you're a woman, you're black, you're green, you're whatever, purple. Mm-hmm. And I say, hey, we're all humans.
Oh, yeah.
There is an inner alignment when you say that. when you speak those words. We are all humans. Because it's not your fault. I mean, if you could have chosen, you would have been perhaps something else, or you would have chosen exactly that.
Right.
It's like, why would you even, and that system, the system conditions us to be diverse, to define system-wise diversity. And that's the crazy thing. And how do you communicate? I think to communicate is, what comes to me always is, there's one thing that we remind people that we're human.
Right.
The second one is that all our diversity, and that we are forced, to say, before it was like forced, you're a man or you're a woman, and you can't be gay.
Right. Yeah.
So you're man or woman, can't be gay. Now we do the same with transgender.
Yeah.
Non-binary, we do the same thing.
Right.
And that is not that humans did that.
Yes.
System don't know how to handle you. You're a man and a man, and you want the baby. They don't know how to handle it. So we have to really make clear, you guys are gay and blah, 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 blah. And humans always, it's not a big deal to be gay today.
No, not at all.
But you remember, it was a big deal.
Oh, sure was. Mm-hmm.
So always the system holds us back, and and all our diversity. And I'm a Democrat, Republican, is just that system can compute us. Mm-hmm. It's not about community. And I tell you why art is so powerful. When you go to an opening of an art opening, there are rich people, there are poor people, there's every color and every gender, everything.
Oh, yeah.
And it always was.
Yes.
As soon as the artist community never was screwing each other. No, that's why I think art is the wisdom of what it is to be human.
Yes.
We're all together. There's never, no, oh, I'm better. No, we all create this theater piece.
Right.
He's stronger. He plays, because he's strong, he's more confident, he plays the lead. But we all create the damn thing.
Yeah.
Yes. And when it's funny, when you go to an art opening, nobody looks like I know it, I think especially good in a museum. Nobody looks at the art. All the humans, because they feel finally safe. Yes. There's something magic about when you expose to art that you feel it's inherent in everybody. That's why people spend $1 million on a museum, on an artist, to support an artist, but they don't spend $1 million on a plumber or an electrician.
Right.
Because there's an inner godliness in this art, and everybody feels it. Everybody feels that creativity is great. Mm-hmm. And when you create something, we don't know. So, but see, I don't want to go what you ask me. I don't, because I can go I don't want to go into territory that isn't. So, and it's not that I'm afraid, but I'm just saying you are the boss.
Oh no, we can go into any territory. Anything that you need to speak is welcomed. But I do want to know about one of your quotes that I was reading on Podmatch, where it says humans need something very different right now because we are in a conscious crisis. What do you think we need, and how do you define a conscious crisis to people that don't even know what that means?
Okay, this is what we just talked. So anybody that listens to this podcast, keep re-listening to it, because do you think we need more technology? Do you think we need to do change? Do you need to think we need to buy more? Did you need to think we have to do more? How much more can we do as humans? Mm-hmm. We're supposed to not do anything, and we have all these things that systems are selling us, and we're doing so much. Your kid cannot be even a child anymore today. It has to already do ballet, piano, and all these other stuff. You haven't even learned to be human,
You know, it's
to play in the
interesting you say
dirt.
that about children because my best friend was telling me recently that he noticed his great grand nephew is his great nephew, I'm sorry, is 6 or 7. And during the holidays, he wasn't really interested in decorating the tree or doing stuff that we did as kids, that they're just more interested in technology. And it's like, wow, I really feel that humans are losing that human touch, that what it means to be present with one another. So I see it, and I see that it's becoming a a pandemic in itself. But what can we do as a humanity to come closer to our consciousness and know that we are all connected and help each other that way?
Again, remind each other, everybody you talk to, always, we're all humans. When it's a discussion about system like Black Lives Matter or anything, say it's about human. What is the human aspect of it? Of course,
Yeah.
a race is human. That is a part of human. And, you know, it's 12%, I think, is Black, for example. Obviously, there is a difference between the majority, but in California, whites are minority already. So remind ourselves it really doesn't matter because it's all about humans. That's it. And there's no more, there is no solution. Also, you have to understand what systems promise you, they never can keep. I can have a human relationship and trust you, even if you, and there we come back to what they say at the beginning, you have the tools that when I cheat you to handle that in a way. You might be hurt, you might be whatever, but systems say, oh, we do everything, you know, why do we create systems? Why do we create systems? We create systems to feel safe and to be in peace. So we can be humans. Right?
Right.
What's going on in Russia right now and in Ukraine?
Oh.
That's a system. That's a system that is completely void. But the sad thing, and this needs to be conscious too. That's why I say it's a conscious crisis. Behind the systems are the system leaders, and they are humans too. And so basically humans are against humans, and they need to comprehend that. We don't want to. I don't want to come into your country and kill you.
Right.
You're a human. Humans never wanted to be in a war. They never wanted to be in a war. It's always the systems or the system leaders that had an ego.
Oh yeah.
You know, they need to you know, show had a little peepee or something. You know, it's like
right. It's crazy.
It's just not. And that's why I'm saying, because do you think in the Second World War people wanted a war? Do you think in Vietnam people wanted to go into war? Right. Nothing. Nobody ever, no human being wants to go to war. Right. Only people that run systems, and they got dehumanized because they think all of a sudden they're God because they're leading a system. They're a CEO of a company or whatever. They are humans too. They're normal humans. They're just distorted. And I think we need to really see that you can't trust the system because the system is limited. So you can say, okay, I'm believing that system that it can deliver that, but it's no guarantee. Right. See, I think that a human promise is more like a guarantee than a system promise, because when the system cannot do it, it just says, you know, if you do, this is an easy example. If you do everything, Lino, you do everything the system says. And then, so I saw that because I was working in a restaurant as a manager, and I had all these people coming in, and they were like about 50, 55, and the woman mostly told me that. And they said, I have, 3 kids. I have the husband that is a doctor. I have all these things. All the system says we have the Labrador, we have the dog, we have the pickets, we have everything. Yeah. Our kids are all in university. So perfect. Any system would say perfect. Sure. But they were frustrated. They were on antidepressants. They said, I don't know what to do with my life anymore. And what does the system say then? When you do everything the system tells you, I'm saying, if you do everything, you must be happy. Right. What does it say? It says, it's your fault. Because it always, at the end, even if you do everything a system says, and you're not being what the system says to be happy. If you do a job, you're honest, you do your military service, you do everything, you're not happy. Look at Vietnam vets. Right. Look at that. They did everything. They were the heroes. They did all the things, and then don't have a right to exist humanely anymore. They come back and they're destroyed. But they're destroyed because humans are against humans. Mm-hmm. And in the middle, one hides behind the system, and the other one's dead. I mean, look how much any abuse is always hiding behind the system.
Oh yeah.
If you and I argue, we might slap each other and then walk away like animals do. Yeah. Animals go and then walk away. True. If I'm a cop, if I'm it doesn't matter. If I'm a Hells Angels, I'm not against cops. I'm saying if I'm somebody in a group, the hooligan system is a psychological phenomenon that even an accountant sits in England, the soccer fans. Yeah. An accountant sits in, and then you see him with a bottle hitting somebody with the head. And he has no idea afterwards what happened, because that's the mass, that's the mass mastermind. Yes, absolutely. So I think it is that's why I say it's a consciousness. I would really want to nail that in. You have to understand, and not from knowledge, but from human wisdom. Because knowledge, you need knowledge when you need it. That's it. And you can do that. You Google it, you do whatever, right. You have to have wisdom, and that's not in knowledge. That's not in systems either. System is all copying previous stuff. And you mentioned art as superpower. Can we go a little bit more into this? That's why, because when you're when you do creating art, right? When you create art, you are not in a system. Once it's done, you're going into a system. You're going into a system. As soon as you completed your statue, your painting, your music, your poetry. Oh, hold on. I have something popped up. I don't know why. Where are you? All of a sudden, I don't see. No, hold on. I see. No, something popped up in me. Sure. So whatever you do in creating art is, you're not doing something, like you're not doing what do you say, a movement, a hand movement, like on a conveyor belt. You don't do it in a repetitive movement or something that Mm-hmm. I mean, there's people on conveyor belts that you have no chance against them, Right. But because they know that one, like a system can be so much, a computer doesn't make mistakes when it's about something repeating, but when it goes out of the box, like you love and I love, it's stuck. It cannot do anything. Right. The computer, the big blue, did you hear that? Did Kasparov also the chess computer? No, I didn't hear about it. The first chess computer long time ago. Oh, yeah. You're talking about the computer that beat the human, and then the human finally beat the computer? The first time. Yeah. You know why? Why is that? That nobody tells you that story. Because the humans that programmed the computer when there is no sample, it's all on samples. It's like looping. It's like the music in music looping. Yeah. It's all done on samples. When this happens, this happens, this happens, this happens. They say if the computer doesn't know if there's no sample, make a random move. And the computer did a random move, and this destroyed the chess player. And that's also super dangerous, right? And that's why they froze that and think, because if it does a random move, we're at war. We blow up the earth, Right. So it was only because a computer wasn't acting like a computer. So it was programmed in. When you're stuck, it doesn't matter where you move. It's like what we tell the humans, if you don't know what to move. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. So, but you can't that humanness in a computer is dangerous, because then it's completely out of control. Yeah.
So I also see that you're interested in like self-discovery innovation. You're a self-discovery innovator. How does someone even begin to find themselves or find this self-discovery?
I think fear is a good tool for it. I had tremendous fear in my whole life, and when you recognize that fear, see, it's about the wisdom. What we talk here is all about wisdom. It's not about knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, it's how do you know how to realize?
How did it happen for you?
For me, it was a long journey. I was a sick kid. I was horrible in school. I was dyslexic. I'm still dyslexic. I switch stuff. And flunked school. Was not mean. Was trying to be the good kid.
Mm-hmm.
And the realization came that art was the only one where I felt okay. So I was saved by art.
Wow.
Through other humans that didn't judge me, that were out of the system, they were out of the box.
Right.
Other humans, I was not saved by them, but I felt valuable. I felt okay, at peace to be me in that society. That's why I say the art community had always, if you just don't know what's politically correct, which is also a system, just go and see what the art community does. You don't need to have political correctness in the art community. There's no need for it.
Right.
Political correctness you only have to do with systems, and then the people hide again behind it. They use that political correctness and punish you. They feel powerless.
Right.
But what usually could see, this is where the wisdom comes in. What usually a tribe could handle, a society of humans could handle, is, first of all, identify the diversification. This guy's powerless, this is powerful. And instead of we can handle it, we judge it. And then all of a sudden, it's a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a done deal. It's like you see it, and all whatever the system teaches you about that race, about that disease, about this. It's even with diseases, to classify something. In the old days, you had a abscesses, they said, or so just cut it off or whatever. Today's pre-cancer. It opens your mind up to all this thing that pre-cancer is. It opens your whole. Pre-cancer is not a little growth that you cut off.
Right.
And that the gravitas of the language, of the manipulative language of systems, which was created by other humans. Right. So we fight each other. So there's humans on your side. They navigate the system on our sides, yeah. And there's humans that create the system and maintain the system, and so basically the leaders play out the one human against the others, and that's not a conspiracy. It's just they're not aware of it. They're distorted. They should never be on that.
Oh yeah,
on the leaders. They should never be the leaders. I mean, do you think that neither Russia or Ukraine should be? These leaders shouldn't be there. The one does whatever he wants. The other one says, we need to get into war. We need to defend. What the hell is defending against a giant? Mm-hmm. That's like saying the ant says, oh, there's a human coming. Let's fight that he's going to step on us. He's going to step on us or not, Mm-hmm. And that makes no sense. There is no human wisdom behind it. There is no explanation. If you can explain me why it is important to kill people, I want to hear the explanation. Nobody explains it. Did you know? This is just coming in. It's just, when the Nazis were talking about the concentration camps, none of their documents said annihilation, killing of Jews, totally reverted. So nobody was really in, and they did that in a castle like. Nobody was, the words weren't used.
Jeez.
Because so on the reverse side, so they use the words, you know, that Jews, that the gay people, these cretins and that, and give you propaganda. And then themselves, they couldn't even use their own words.
Sheesh.
I mean, that's why I'm saying human is so valuable. It's so godly.
Yes.
And we waste it through system. And I don't say no system. We need systems, but we need a new relationship to systems. That a system.
What kind of relationship?
Yeah.
What kind of relationship do we need with the system?
I think that relationship where we realize a system or a brand. I'm saying the same as a brand, you know, like Nike or whatever, a huge thing. A brand can never be more than a human. Never. Right. Never. We have systems and brands that serve humanity. Mm-hmm. Because without humans, there is no systems. You know, think about it. If you take all the humans away and the system win, there's no point in systems.
It doesn't exist. Yeah.
It doesn't exist. It does. A brand doesn't. If nobody buys shoes, you don't need Nike or sports cars. I'm not against Nike, but I'm saying,
sure.
So humans must be number one. Always. A human life, no system can say anything about a human life. It doesn't matter how horrible that person, probably that is the horrible mass murder, was distorted by system. The system bred these horrible people that need to die.
I agree. Yeah.
We bred the Russian that they are like this, and the Ukrainian, because they are one. That's the best thing. They're one. They're the same. They're the sister, and they fight each other to the death.
Yeah.
Everybody has relatives. Everybody has relatives. It's like if Mexico would walk into America and vice versa. That we're too mixed. It doesn't work.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the system, humans would never do that. You know that Mexicans would not go against or Latinos of any kind would ever go against Americans or nothing.
Yeah. Right.
It's just it would never be. Is that it makes no sense? It doesn't. Nobody cares if you're a different color. Only the system. Only the things that this we need to, you know.
Right. Well, thanks so much for all of your energy, and thanks for bringing up this incredible topic. I've brought up similar subjects myself, where I've said that I don't identify with any specific political group or identity, but yet, I've gone from being a female to now being a male, and having over 40 surgeries in 10 years, and I've identified as a disabled person. But since I started my podcast, I've said, and after writing my book, I've come to the conclusion that I'm not going to identify any specific category of human or be any part of any group, because I belong to everybody and I belong as one person. And that is why I'm not representing only the deaf community. That's why I'm not representing only the disabled. That's why I'm not representing only the LGBTQ community. I'm representing humanity in general. And I feel that you're also in the same mission. I'm really glad that we met and we connected. How can our viewers, our watchers, and our listeners find you?
I have a hub, like my website. You just go to Michaell M. So Michaell with 2 L's, michaellm.com. And there's all my social. And I also have a 30-second podcast because because I trust humanity to have their own thoughts to quotes that I say.
What's the name of your podcast?
The Smart of Art.
The Smart of
Art. And then the subtitle is The Power of Art and Creativity.
The Power of Art and Creativity. That sounds excellent, and I'm definitely going to tune in to you. And thanks so much for being on A Little Less Fear podcast, Michaell.
Anytime.
Oh, thank you. I would love to. Yeah, let's pick a topic and let's see what our viewers, our watchers, and our listeners would like to hear more of, and then we'll pick a specific topic and we'll go from there.
Yeah, and you did a great job.
So did you. Thank you so much.
No, with your transformation.
Oh.
I I couldn't tell.
Oh, I appreciate that. That's definitely a
I tell
compliment.
you are what you are.
Yes,
You're
all
not
human.
what you were. You're not what you were. You got into your energy and you did it energetically. I mean, I picked this shit up like I didn't pick that at all.
Thanks so much, Michael. I really appreciate that. That's definitely a compliment from one human to another. Thank you so much for your
Exactly.
connection, and I wish you many blessings, and we'll keep in touch.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.